Hello? Oh, my phone is like freaking out. It's like freezing up. Why is it doing that? Hello? Uh,
Ben, are you there?
Hello?
Hi, Mrs. Cross. I'm just making sure your attorney's here because I can't really speak to you unless they are.
He said he was going to call me about an hour ago, but I never did hear from him. We might have already discussed everything we needed to discuss earlier. I'm not sure.
Once he responds, if you need some time to talk to him, you're more than welcome. Here he is. Hi, Ken.
Well, I'm in the dark.
How are you, Ken?
Whoever designed my office put that big window behind my computer so that I'm backlit and therefore dark. That's okay. Well, Madonna,
Hey.
it's nice to be able to put a face to your name.
He is out sick today, but Giselle, who's his supervisor, is here. And I think, Ken, if you have some questions about the case that you want to talk about.
I don't know if his audio is working here.
Yeah, I'm running off it.
Can you hear me say something?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, indeed.
Perfect. So I know, I think you had a couple of questions, Ken. Is that right?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, I have a bunch of questions. that's happened so far. Is that right?
My understanding is there's been no compliance.
Okay. And it also appears as if there's been really minimal communication with the CYFD, my client. Like it seems, well, the last communication was way back.
I know there's occasional text messages. I don't know how frequently. And I don't know if there's anything beyond texting.
According to this report of 9/22/25, which is the most recent one that I found, the last communication was February of 25.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, what was it?
So Tia was texting maybe 10 days ago. I'm probably slightly off on the date, but I think that's pretty much just, I think it's been occasional texting essentially.
That's right. And according to this report also, whoever wrote the report, I should be able to find that at the end.
It was
One, Tia Henderson. Yeah, she said that the telephone from which Ms. Cross was calling, she had that number, but Ms. Cross said that that was not her phone. And so, right, but it appears as if you guys have her phone number. Is that right?
I think so. That's, yeah. And Ms. Cross can correct that if I'm wrong, but I believe they have been texting recently.
Have you been receiving texts, Madonna?
I called a couple months ago and gave CYFD my phone number because I had a feeling that they didn't have, there was no way for them to have my new number, but I didn't think that they might have had my old numbers either. It seemed like only my attorneys were contacting me, but.
So you've not been getting texts from the CYFD? That was the question.
Since I've gotten this phone within the last couple months and given my phone number to CYFD, yeah, Tia texted me maybe within the last couple weeks, the same day as the hearing that we had, within a week or two ago, yeah.
So you've got two texts, one on the day of the hearing.
From Tia, yes.
Okay. Also, the thing about visitation, I'm kind of curious about it. Apparently there's a psychological or a therapeutic recommendation that there be no visitation. Right?
I think that's right. I actually don't know the answer to that. I apologize. I don't know if Giselle has a way of looking that up, maybe.
Well, I read it here. It's in this report.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or maybe Sean knows more as well.
Yeah, we did have a recommendation. Can I look for it and send it to you?
Thank you. But has that ever been brought before the court? Like, has the court had an opportunity to decide whether visitation should occur or not? Or is that not something that's, or is that you guys been following the recommendation? How that's working out?
I believe that we have presented that to the court.
Oh, I see. And the court did not change that.
No.
You happen to remember the general date during which that was presented to the court, Julie?
I believe within the last year. So let me see if I can find it.
I really appreciate it. I don't think, it doesn't appear that the CFD has any substantiation of psychological problems or psychiatric problems with Ms. Cross. Is that right? psych problem, but I don't see any actual substantiation.
But I don't believe that any psychological evaluations have ever been completed, in this case.
Right. But this is history, so I assumed that meant that the COFD had copies of documents that substantiate the existence of a psychiatric code.
Yeah, there might be something. There could have been something as part of the investigation.
I'm doing a spinal review coming up on Thursday.
Right. Yes.
I'll be there at 2 p.m. So we can look at it then. So there's been no order changing the plan to adoption.
I believe there has been. I think it's been adoption for a little bit now, and we have.
I saw that there was a scheduling order regarding adoption. DPR.
Yeah.
I never saw an order.
It should be in there, is it not?
I'm not. Well, I don't think there was even a hearing. I have to get all these CDs for Christ's sake. This has been a very fraught case. My goodness, Mr. Katz, we're in neck deep at this point.
Yeah. No, it's been adoption for at least 6 months or so. Julie probably knows the exact time. It's been adoption since I took over the case back in September.
I see. And that's based in lack of party participation, is that right? Lack of effort.
That's correct.
Interestingly, Tia says that Ms. Cross refuses to come back to New Mexico as if it's necessary for Ms. Cross to be in New Mexico to participate in the case. It's not true.
No, I mean, it certainly makes it easier, but we can definitely work the case in every state.
Right.
I actually.
And visitation. Yes, Ms. Cross?
I actually did go back to New Mexico to see my kid. I spent months there, and that was when I was told that I wasn't allowed to see my kid anymore.
Because of the
Yeah. So, and I still actually remained in New Mexico for months afterwards, hoping that I would still have some way to see him, but I wasn't able to. So my daughter turned 18, so I came back to West Virginia to see my daughter and to get my driver's license renewed. Yeah.
When was that?
Whenever I came back here to West Virginia, it was
when did you come back to New Mexico?
I was back there in March, April, May, and I think all the way in June, things got a little too hot, and I decided it was probably time to go. But also, my daughter's birthday she turns 18 in June, and my license was about to expire, because I also my birthday's also in June, so I had to get back here to, see her and handle a bunch of that.
I had to return West Virginia to get your license renewed.
Yeah.
Are you interested in, Ms. Cross, in telling the COFD how to get in touch with you? Or they have actually got your phone number. They just don't know your address, is that right?
So my phone numbers were different until here recently. This one is on like a 2-year plan, so this one won't be changing for a second. And I don't know that anybody has the mailing address that I use here. I actually stay between a couple different places. There's like places out in the mountains in the country that I stay, and then I come to town and I help take care of elderly people and kitty cats. Yeah.
Okay. Can I tell them your email address?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, now I got it. It's really complicated. Okay. Wait a second. Here it is. cyborgempress@gmail.com. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
And I'll put her phone number in, even though you guys have it, just because it seems like a smart thing to do. So what is a meeting confer? What's supposed to happen during a meeting confer? And how do we make that happen today?
So what it is it's generally a meeting just between the attorneys where we, I guess, share information. It's very basic information about the TPR. So essentially, do you have any reason to think ICWA applies? When was the last time you spoke with your client? How do you anticipate putting on a case, and if so, how much time do you want for that? There's one or two more. Oh, do you stipulate to a special master? Which I don't, so that doesn't really matter. And then I think, do you stipulate to the birth certificate being admitted into evidence? I think those are the 5 questions that we're supposed to speak about at one. I might be missing 1 or 2, but it's generally basic information like that, and then we file a form with the court just stating that we had met. And all the answers to all those questions, which I think we did that on this case. But if you think you need more time than we've asked for to put on a case yourself, we can certainly inform the court of that.
Right, I don't anticipate bringing any witnesses besides Ms. Cross. But then again, I haven't had a chance to talk to her about how we might formulate the case. We're going to have to talk again. Or I could just add hearing tell the court how much time I need.
Yeah, and I don't know how much time.
So
Maybe 3 hours for this? Or you go ahead, Julie.
the charity shouldn't set us a date yet, right?
No.
Okay, so we have to decide on how much time we need today, and what our witness list is going to look like, and what our exhibit list is going to look like. Just date of last contact, the clients, and then Harry files that with our request for a hearing, with the TPR hearing. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I can do that. Did we not already file with Julie? My research is not working.
Yes. Yes, there was one filed, I think, in November.
Okay, I can file it. What was it?
And what is it that you're talking about being filed?
The meeting confer. So a notice of meeting confer was one of the, I think, the most recent things filed in the case. Because we all met previous to this to talk about how much time we needed.
I see. Okay. I'm going to find that. Kate Krasauskas was great at keeping very exacting files.
And it's an odyssey.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Kate requested 3 hours, so I'm guessing that's probably enough for you. And we requested 4 hours, so this is going to be a full day then.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was what I was thinking. You might want more than a day, but I could do just fine with a day. If your case is
Probably enough.
less
I think a day is enough. She has been the worker for most of the case. There was a couple of different ones at the beginning, Savannah Gonzalez, and some person in Taos.
How old is the child?
Is he now 7 or 8?
A little on the young side for testifying, huh?
So, and this is just for you, Harry. My last contact with Riker was on March 11th, because I know you have to write that in somewhere.
Yeah. And then kind of your last contact would be right now, I suppose.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, we spoke today. Substantive contact.
And then do either of you have reason to think that ICWA applies?
Ms. Cross?
What was that?
The question at hand is whether we have reason to believe that your child is an Indian child.
No, he's not. He has no Native American. They did a genetic testing on him at some point, and that was their results was that he wasn't Native American.
Gotcha, thank you.
And do you stipulate to the birth certificate being put into evidence, Ken?
I've not seen it. Have you seen the birth certificate, LaDonna?
Riker's birth certificate?
Yes.
Yeah.
That may seem like a silly question, but I have to ask because I don't know.
No, it's fine.
So,
yeah, that's fine.
it's, yeah, okay, yeah, we stipulate to the birth certificate being brought into evidence. Did Kate file a witness list?
I don't know. I don't know how research is working. Give me 1 second. It's just being very slow.
Okay. I'll look through. It was just a question of convenience because there's a plethora, a lot. I'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, those are all the questions I have for the form.
Me too.
Actually, if you don't mind me asking your client one more question, you can tell me the answer after I ask it.
Yeah, of course.
Ms. Cross, I just want to confirm that Timothy Strother, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, is the father that his rights have previously been terminated.
So Timothy Strother was not the father. His rights were terminated, and he was treated as though he was the father, and he apparently pretended to be my kid's father, but he had actually allowed me to be assaulted, and that apparently my kid's real father is a brother of mine who I've never met.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's, bizarre.
That's quite a story. It's like painful to actually listen to. What's his name? Strother?
Yeah.
I have nothing else with your Cass. I appreciate your time.
And then I'll see you on Thursday, Ken.
Yes, you will. And thank you for showing up this size, Mr. Jordan. Do you have anything else, Madonna?
So many things, but I'm just not going to do it right now. It's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions for me, LaDonna? Because I'm TS supervisor. So did you have any questions specific to your case that I might be able to answer for you?
I really have a difficult time with Tia. That's pretty much the only thing that I want to say about it, but I don't have any questions right off the bat aside from that.
Thanks, LaDonna.
All right, thanks you
And,
guys.
and Harry, I wasn't aware that I wasn't supposed to bring my client to this thing. I appreciate your patience.
No, it's I have no issue with your behavior. I think it's probably helpful just because you are getting up to speed on this case and you might have had questions beyond just what's normally talked about and being confirmed.
I do. I have lots of questions. You all have a good day, okay?
You too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, LaDonna.
Bye, you guys.